Hey everyone, it's Christine Pedersen with the Mindful Parenting Revolution. Here to talk about daylight saving coming up. We are falling back. I find all time changes to be challenging for parents, but fall back can be particularly hard if you already have a child who is waking up early in the morning. Because when we fall back, the clocks go earlier 1 hour, which means instead of waking up at 6 a.m., they're now waking up at 5 a.m. Know that this is temporary and that you are going to slowly help transition them to the new wake up time and bedtime and get their body clock on track. But in the meantime, having a lot of compassion for yourself and patience with them is key. So let's back up a little bit and talk a little bit about our incredible body, which really wants to learn and start somewhere between 4 and 6 months of age to produce alerting hormone and calming hormone cocktails at specific times of day. Our body gets used to, and all animals' bodies get used to the circadian rhythms going on around us. So when we just change the clock, it's like we wake up with an hour of jet lag. This causes, for many of us, some feelings of discomfort and missed sleep. Also, we have tired cues when we don't feel like we should be going to bed, or we're fully alert when we would really like to be continuing to sleep in the morning. So just holding space for this adjustment that we need to make and thinking of it less as a problem and more as a process, I think will really, really help you to shift with a little bit more ease and grace for yourself. The Sleep Sense program uses Split the Difference as the way of getting from where you are now to where you're going to be on the new clock. It means that you split the difference between your body clock time and the time that the clock says. When fall back happens, you're going to wake up in the morning. Your body is going to feel like it's 7 a.m. Boop, you're alert, you're awake, but the clock is going to say it's 6 a.m. So just know this is happening. And then when it comes to nap time, if you have an infant, know that you're going to need to get them into bed a half an hour sooner. So we're going to split the difference between the old time and the new time, which is an hour apart. So if they normally go to bed for nap time at 12:30 p.m., your new nap time is 12, and that's going to feel like 1 p.m. in their body, but we're splitting the difference between the old time and the body clock time. At bedtime, you're going to want to start your routine a half an hour earlier than usual, and you're going to want to get them into bed lights out a half an hour earlier than usual, knowing that if 7 o'clock is your normal bedtime, you're going to do 6:30 for a few days. It's going to feel like 7:30 in their body. How about adults? If you are an adult and you know your child is going to be waking up an hour earlier in the morning, putting yourself to bed at your normal time on the clock may make for a couple of really challenging mornings. For example, my bedtime is typically lights out around 10:30. If I wait until 10:30 on Sunday night, my body is going to be exhausted because it actually feels like 11:30, and that is perilously close to midnight. I have a tendency to re-alert at that time at night. So if I'm not asleep by 10:30 or 11, then I'm oftentimes up until 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning. So that means that I am going to need to be very, very careful. And I just love to use the rule as a mindfulness person, listen to your body. At 8 o'clock or 8:30 p.m., when your eyes are starting to feel tired and dry and you're fuzzy headed and the idea of crawling into bed is starting to seem really attractive, do it. Because it's really 9:30 or 10 in your body. Okay? If that's your normal bedtime, get to bed an hour early. And then when your child wakes up at 5:30 a.m., it's not going to seem like such a disaster. Okay, so major daylight savings tips. 1, split the difference. between the old time and the new time in your body. And I have an article that helps parents go through this according to age group. So if you would like to have me send that to you, just reach out in the comments and I'll shoot that article your way. It's really helpful to be able to have a reference on Sunday. Also, making sure that you are taking good care of yourself during this time. That means that you're going to be patient with your kiddo when they need extra help around their bedtime routines, either because they're overtired or because it just feels uncomfortable to have an hour of jet lag. Okay? Let me know what your questions are. Throw out some scenarios for me. Comment and let's see if we can work through some of these potential pitfalls that you might have experienced in past time changes. Okay? Ooh, I will remind you that this is the time change that gives you an extra hour. So when the clock falls back, it goes from 2 a.m. bloop to 1 a.m. And then you get a whole nother hour until it's 2 a.m. again. How cool is that? Yay, live it up.